Oh, what time of year is it now?
It is the middle of September.
I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel this time. Hi, I'm Golden. If you haven't clicked off the video already, I watch mostly awful bargain bin movies every October. For this December, I'm gonna get festive for a change by talking about Holiday Family Classics, a collection of 12 Christmas movies, as well as 27 public domain cartoons. More on those in part 2.
I need you tonight. Whoa!
Like all the other box sets I've crawled through, this one comes to us from Mill Creek. Oh, sorry, Alliance Entertainment. Yeah, they rebranded recently. It seems like their reputation finally caught up to them. He looks all friendly on that cover, but I know he's got nothing but coal in there. I bought this set about a decade ago at a thrift shop, though the price tag is misleading. I actually got it for about $1. Writing this part, having finished the project, yeah, if it cost any more, it would be robbery.
Where am I?
Gang, this is the worst it's ever been. If Mill Creek's mission statement was to find the worst, least watchable public domain Christmas specials and movies, they succeeded. And now I'm gonna relay the harrowing experience of watching every single one just so you don't have to. Except for the Mexican Santa Claus movie. You should probably see that. More on why in part 2.
All this trouble over a fat little man in a red suit.
Now before I tear into this, I'd like to thank today's sponsor. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. Thanks to patrons and super chats though. You guys genuinely help ends meet. On to the first movie. Where better to start than with the guy who started it all? He's featured in this 1952 episode from the TV show Studio One titled The Nativity. This is a straightforward, frankly pretty darn dull retelling of the birth of Jesus Christ. No big twists on it, other than the low-budget visuals. There are 3 kings, they show up to the stable where Virgin Mary gave birth to give him cool toys. There are a lot of stage-like monologues, a remnant of this being adapted from 14th and 15th century stage productions. And aside from that, there honestly isn't that much to talk about here.
Afraid for a fear now, maybe we all now.
Past the VHS fuzz, there are some kind of cool visuals here. The stark use of lighting creates a noticeable contrast between the dark backgrounds and the lit characters. God speaking to the characters is represented with a sudden shaft of light from the ceiling. The whole thing is kind of ominous actually, combined with the disembodied choirs especially. Every frame a last known photograph. The director of this, Franklin J. Schaffner, went on to direct Planet of the Apes. The Nativity, needless to say, is not his lasting legacy. It's only an hour long, but a good 8 minutes are bookended by sponsor segments from Westinghouse, which went defunct in 1997 and now exists under CBS. They're advertising their TV sets as well as other products. No exaggerating, I got more out of these commercials. It's a peek into a time when TV was new. They have to explain how washing and drying machines work because they were a new thing. Everything surrounding the special is more interesting than the special itself. I'm glad Mill Creek left these parts in.
All you have to do is plug in this exclusive Westinghouse UHF receptor just as easily as you'd plug in a lamp cord, and you're all ready to enjoy that new channel in your area.
An unofficial sequel to The Nativity made a couple years before, The Pilgrimage play from 1949 is an adaptation of a play from the whatever, you've already clicked off the video, what am I doing here? Anyways, The Pilgrimage play is a little odd because it's like a Matryoshka doll of flashbacks. It starts with 1 to 64 AD, where we meet Simon Peter, one of Jesus' apostles, who then flashes back to tell a variety of anecdotes from Jesus' life. It's like going to a sermon, but you're in a Roman dungeon and you're probably gonna get executed soon. It's Jesus Christ's greatest hits. He heals a blind man, cures a caveman of his cavemanness, has a delicious yet traitorous final dinner, and you know the rest. Interestingly, he's never actually shown being crucified. The film opts to keep it symbolic, yet he speaks from off-screen.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Positives, shit, what do we got here? Nelson Lay looks the part of Western interpretations of Jesus. I'm not religious, so there's already a pretty steep barrier for entry. Starting to notice a problem with this project, but rating it as a movie, translating biblical dialogue to the screen is pretty difficult to do without it coming off as stilted, which, forgive the blasphemy, it very much is here.
Go, call thy husband, and come hither.
I have no husband.
Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands.
They're reciting the Bible at you for 90 minutes. Entire scenes are just Jesus and friends standing around with no exciting visuals or direction, with the exception of choosing not to show JC on the cross and have him be in voiceover. That's kind of a cool artistic decision because it shows his words are what matters and not the state he's in. Or something like that. There are good Christian movies, this is not one of them. This is likely played in many Sunday schools and bored many children for decades. Here's a break from the religious stuff. The Great Rupert stars a stop-motion squirrel. Releasing in March of 1950, okay, after the man who taught the titular squirrel is forced to let it go, Rupert starts living in the walls of a newly moved-in family. The gag here is that a penny pincher is stuffing his money into the same walls, so when Rupert starts building his nest, the bills are sent flying into a family's room downstairs. It's seen as an act of God when, like, guys, you can just look at the hole in the ceiling, see where it's coming from.
Thank you.
The draw of this one is the stop-motion squirrel. I couldn't really get myself to care about the boring-ass family, and the comedy stylings of Jimmy Durante don't do anything for me. He does have a great voice, though.
We have the exact same tags on it.
It could be a lot worse if we were girls wearing the same dresses.
It is a family-friendly comedy, so it is fairly tame. I read there's a slur in here somewhere, but I couldn't hear it through the muffled audio on this copy, so make of that what you will. Not much to say here, honestly. It's a boring old movie you could have on in the background that needed more dancing squirrel scenes. From the director of one of those weird Ewok movies comes A Christmas Without Snow, a 1980 made-for-TV special where a struggling divorced mother named Zoe finds a new pastime in her sad life by joining a local church choir.
Give yourself a nice big kiss right on the forehead.
But how can I kiss myself on the forehead?
Stand on a chair.
What? There's a strict old choir director, who reminds me of one I knew in middle school actually, whose demands of perfection are a hurdle for Zoe and the other characters. But with the power of friendship and good wholesome values, they persevere. Really high stakes in this one.
I fully intend to make something out of the cacophony.
It's a rambling narrative where a bunch of different subplots are juggled with the through line of the Christmas choir, and it's not awful. This thing is stacked with established TV actors, and the performances across the board are decent. Boomer viewers who somehow made it this far into the video might recognize lead actress Michael Learned, who played the wife in The Waltons, a show I have never seen.
And I want to discuss several things.
From the relaxed tone to the murky, muted colors this movie is perpetually stuck with, it's hard to describe this. This movie just embodies the feeling of being at an awkward but safe Thanksgiving. Everyone's off doing their own thing and having their own conversations, represented by the various subplots, and it ultimately ends with a big feast where everyone's in the same place. In this case, a church choir, I guess. There's literally a scene that takes place during Thanksgiving. That's probably why I'm thinking that. I'm just trying my absolute best to make this sound interesting. It's a little charming, but pretty bland too. A Christmas Without Snow probably just existed to fill a time slot in 1980 and keep actors employed. It could have had a subplot where someone was trying to defuse a bomb or something. Now that would have been exciting.
Be not afraid!
If you saw the back of the box, you might have gotten excited seeing that Miracle on 34th Street is on here. It's one of the more famous Christmas movies. I say, having never seen it before now. I'm here to let you down, though. You have been fooled. This is not the same Miracle on 34th Street. What we have here is a 45-minute remake from an episode of the 20th Century Fox Hour, released in 1955. It's the same story, but the cast is completely different. I went ahead and watched the original 1947 version for the first time, just so I had some point of comparison. For those who don't know, it's about the actual Santa Claus, fed up with the subpar job other Santa lookalikes are doing, posing as a Santa in a Macy's store to bring whimsy and meaning back to the tradition, which erupts into a giant court case that will prove if he's even real. It's a nice little movie, I enjoyed it. Edmund Gwynn is a pretty great Santa. It's hard to not grin a little at how wholesome it is. The 1955 remake tells the same story, borderline with the same script with what I think is the same stock footage of the Macy's parade that kicks off the narrative.
All part of the plot. Surest way to meet the mother is to be nice to the child.
What a horrible trick.
I read someplace that the surest way to meet the mother is to be kind to the child.
What a horrible trick.
With only 46 minutes to tell a story that originally took an hour and a half, this is a Miracle on 34th Street any percent speed run. The original had all of these nice little scenes where Santa prodded people's minds until they were a little more convinced he was real. It was cute. Here it's like they're going down a checklist, and once they've done what they need to in any given scene, they move on. Everyone did a line before the camera started rolling, so they're all speeding through their dialogue, so nothing has any room to breathe, and it's just not done well in comparison. Santa comes off as genuinely crazy in this too. In the original, he was played with restraint, yet here, I'm on the side of the people trying to lock him up. With the exception of the fast pace, it's a scene-for-scene remake of the original, which begs the question, who was this made for? We know how it came to be, it's an episode of a TV show, but nowadays, unless you've been tricked or don't have the patience for a 90-minute movie, there's no reason to watch this version over the one everyone knows. You're getting a feature-length Macy's commercial either way, so you might as well go with the better-made one. It's a pretty dire situation. Speaking of dire situations, I gotta talk about Santa Claus Conquers the Martians again. You might remember I covered it already in the sci-fi box set video, but I can't assume everyone's seen something I made like 3 years ago, so I'm giving it another round.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
So when Santa Claus destroys the Martians' stomachs with Mrs. Claus's cookie recipe, children all over Mars, okay, exactly 2 Martian children are bored. Noticing this, an old Martian man, either on the verge of crying or death,
We need a Santa Claus on Mars,
gives the Martian adults the idea to kidnap Earth's Santa with a delightfully retro robot. I still think it should have fought the guy in the goofy polar bear costume. 2 kids happen to be in the area, so they get brought along too.
What would you do if a Martian walked right up behind you? I'd scream.
It's weird, the green makeup makes me uncomfortable, and the comedy stylings of Droppo the Martian make me want to end it all.
Turn up that decorating!
But when you look past the flat cinematography and bad acting, the set design is kind of fun. It's fitting for a children's film to have sets that look like they were designed by one.
How are you feeling today? Tired?
No, I'm not tired. But my finger is.
I completely forgot until this watch that there's an entire scene dedicated to the United States military attempting to rescue Santa, and it just goes nowhere and is never mentioned again. It's just a little time-wasting scene to show our proud forces are doing everything they can and failing. I keep getting yelled at for making reviews of this movie and not mentioning that singer Pia Zadora plays one of the Martian kids. I mean, that's neat, it's a bit before my time, but I don't get the deal. Why is mentioning that so important? Oh, I see, okay, she got hot. And to think she started her career wearing green makeup that looks really unfortunate in most rips of this movie.
The doll has a teddy bear's head, and the teddy bear has a doll's head.
In the first round, I used such descriptors as chintzy boredom. I'm not sure what I was thinking with that one, honestly. And yeah, it's still very tedious when it's not spicing things up by being weird, but compared to the shit I've had to sit down and watch for this project, I actually had a little more to say about the Martian Santa Claus movie. So thank you, Santa Claus Destroys the Martians with Facts and Logic. Against all odds, you managed to restore a bit of my Christmas spirit. Merry Christmas, one and all.
Cha-cha-cha.
Ooh.